understanding these fire, snap, intensity strikes, they don't look like they would be very effective because lots of times I don't have them. It's not like I have to draw back my hand to punch or use my body when we're doing the hard straight techniques. And it's not like I'm using flowing movement like this. It's your hands are completely loose. And to get a snap, the easiest snap that you can get is a back fist. If you're loose, you can hear that snap. It gets a bit harder when you're not flicking your wrist, when you're just coming straight. Now, when you're loose enough, all your techniques should have that snap to them. And if what you're doing, quite often you'll see in the videos, I'm not closing my hand when I hit my student, because if I do and I make contact with, because they're usually one knuckle punches and they're hitting particular points, usually bone, they will cause a goose egg to form wherever you hit. So when you're seeing the hands moving and they're not tightening up on your student when I see the hand movement and I'm not tightening up on my students, it's because I'm trying not to hit them. When you're practicing with your partners, you don't want to hit them like this. It's like, because it will cause him injuries. You could actually fracture his arm. So if you're in that position where you're just training, and not only that, your training partner won't last too long if you're actually hitting them. Once you hit somebody good once, they won't put their hand out in front of you anymore. So the other thing that we got to keep in mind is that when we're lowering our body and hitting with our whole body, that power is completely different than the power of these snap, quick techniques. Why we have a variance of techniques or theories and strategies is because we have different applications depending on who our enemy is or who's attacking us. And what they give to us, we have to adapt to their weaknesses or their strength, however you want to look at it. Here we're doing fast, snappy techniques. And the difference is, if he was coming to punch me and I redirect his energy, was the first one, he comes to punch me and I slide through, reflecting his energy. And this one, I'm loose, so when he comes to punch, I'm coming with fast, snappy punches. I'll show it in slow motion. When he came to punch, I went 1 to the bone, 2, 3, 4, 5. So each time I'm crossing. If for example, if I went 1, 2, 3, and I left that hand open, 4, and I still left that hand open, I'm going to get an elbow to my face. What I'm doing, and it's important that you can understand, is when he comes to punch, what I'm doing, and what he's doing is, it's kind of funny. What's funny is I see other people demonstrating martial arts and their ukis come to throw a punch and they're standing there wide open and their instructors dancing around and hit them with all sorts of hits and they're not covering themselves. And I'm thinking, who actually punches knowing that they're going to get hit and stands like this? So it's in this situation, he's coached because he knows what's going to happen, but we're trying to slow that down a bit. When he comes to punch and I go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, I'm ready. If this punch should come at me, I'm coming to do this on this side. If when he comes to punch and I go, I'm covering up, and even if he was in a position where he's not, we'll get him not to crouch like he's in an attack mode. So when I go to do this, it's always in a position where I'm getting my strikes off. Now, what I'm doing is, when we're doing these type of strikes, there is a snap. You can hear. Any strike that I do, I'm completely loose, and it has snap to it. So as long as if you develop the technique to be loose and snap, hitting with only 1 or 2 knuckles, when he comes to punch, that snap hit his ulna. He'll gonna get a big bubble here if I hit him like that on that bone. But he's getting hit twice. 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and then 5, 6, 7 if I want to. But the strikes are all, before we were hitting with our whole body. These strikes are fast like repetitious strikes that are working on points, or hitting the sternum, or hitting the cheekbone, or I'm hitting the ulna or the radius. I'm hitting points with specific explosive snap techniques.